and he put them directly on the light, and the elf started on fire and fell down, and the kids saw, and they were like traumatized, like, oh my God, the elf's on fire.
Yay Networks.
Hey guys, welcome episode 24. I know y'all love when I say the numbers of the episodes. I even get confused. Before we start, I want to say thank you everyone for liking, tagging, subscribing. What else am I forgetting? Downloading, listening, watching, comments. You all are amazing. So thank you for sticking with us, and thank you for the pre-recorded episodes we did. I hope you liked those. I feel like it's been forever
since we recorded. Yeah,
I've missed it.
A lot went on since last time we recorded.
Went on. So
24 in, huh? We're cranking them out.
Yeah, we are. And yeah, so I was gone for 10 days. I was in LA. Worked a couple days on Reindeer Games. If you don't know what it is, it's a holiday show on CBS. Already 2 episodes are out. So I don't even know how many episodes there are. I don't even know.
I think it's on for 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's a short holiday show. Production, oh my gosh.
So as of us taping right now, there's 2 episodes out, and a new one's on tonight.
Yeah. And everybody that works on that show, I mean, they just wrapped Big Brother, which was 100 days. And then they went straight into Reindeer Games. And production just works their ass off.
Yeah.
They did such a good job. The set looked amazing. Everything was just... it was just beautiful. Super holiday, like wardrobe. I felt bad for wardrobe. I felt like she was probably pretty stressed out because she did everybody, like all the outfits, everything.
Yeah.
I was very happy with my elf costume. I didn't know what it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like something from Amazon or something. And it was over the top. It was very pretty, the dress I had. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just look at my Instagram. I posted a picture of it.
I think I've said this on the show on here before, but I've always said, I say this, you've heard this 100 times, but when Big Brother's done, they need to do like behind the scenes, like a little documentary. Oh, you did?
The executive producers?
Yeah.
I told them that.
What did they say?
I told them when I did a Zoom call with them.
Oh.
I didn't tell. They were too busy on set.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm just saying, from being on the show and working on the show, forgive me if I've told this story already. I know I do it a lot on our Cameo things. But being there, being a contestant and then working and going behind the scenes, it's really a machine. I mean, the production that they do, they're filming 24/7, right? They're putting out 3 episodes every single week. They're doing 1 live episode. They're getting those competitions in and out. They're transforming the backyard. I mean, the amount of work it takes just for cutting those videos, getting the storyline together, putting them out, and the time that they do it is crazy. And if they could slow that down and kind of film and show people how it's done and all the camera angles and the control room. Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
It's wild. So really hats off to that whole production. I mean, they've been going 25 years. There's a reason.
Right. And they're very structured over there.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
They know exactly what they're doing. And then shout out to Sean Laws. She's the senior executive producer on there. She is your mom on Big Brother. She keeps in contact with your family, and she's just the best. She's the hardest working woman in television, and she is just I just love her.
I don't know how many people from Big Brother listen to this thing, but if you do, she's the Big Brother mom.
She is.
Yeah,
and you just want to hug her and hold her. She's seen you cry. She's seen all your emotions. I remember Jeff and I were dating, and you were about to go on Around the World for free, and I had a heart-to-heart with her. And I'm like, Sean, I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know if this is really going to work out. She always tells me, she goes, I remember that heart-to-heart we had. I'm like, I know. I opened up to you.
Well, that's enough. I mean, we gave their props. We love Big Brother. But so you got to tell everybody about you hosting, this Reindeer Games thing. Because I think a lot of people who watch the podcast might also watch Big Brother. But you did a fantastic job. I'm not just saying that. You did a good job, not being a host and going in there and knocking it out? It seemed very natural, and you really did a good job.
Yeah, I tried to, because when you go in there, obviously you don't want to play favorite. You don't want to look like you're playing favorites.
Right.
Which there are people in there that I knew from when we got engaged. Some people like Frankie and Cody.
Yeah.
And Nicole I've met before, so I knew them.
Right.
And then Brittany too. I knew Brittany. But then there's the new people that are on the newer seasons that I've never met before. So it was nice getting to meet them, getting to know them. Everybody was so nice. Everybody, even the people competing there. I mean, I was an elf, so I was in and out. I didn't know the drama that was going on in the house.
Right.
I just would come in. Everybody was super happy when I would come in. But yeah, I had to read these long scrolls, and
they were long.
They were very long, and I didn't get the. I didn't get to see. Okay, so one of the guys, he was like, "You ready? You know your lines?" I'm like, "No, I don't." So I had an earpiece in my ear, and he would be in there and then would tell me what to say. And then he would say, "Okay, you're ready to go. Stop, read that again." Or if I mispronounce something, but it's very intimidating. You know, like when you have haters on social media, there's always going to be some that are like, you can't host or this, that, and the other. And it's like,
you can't listen to
well, I know, but what I'm saying is it's a lot harder than it looks, and it's intimidating.
For sure.
When you go and there's all production, all the lights are shining on you, and they're like, quiet on set, all eyes on our elf. Jordan, open the scroll, start reading. And then you're like, and it's everybody staring at you. And the whole time you're like, do not mess up. Do not mess up what you're reading. And I did pretty well.
You did. And
Yeah.
you didn't get to see the script ahead of time.
No.
Which I've talked about on the show. Every morning that I go into work, because if you don't, I don't know, I host one of the shows. I know the main show, I don't host that one. You know, like as far as the head host, that's Sam. She's another.
Sam crushes.
Yeah, she crushes it. And I don't even know if she looks at it. I have to look at it. I have to see what's coming.
We talked about this on the last podcast.
Yeah. So I had rewrite it in my own words and stuff. So for you to go out there cold and read that long script, I would be like, hold on, guys. I got to run through this a couple times before we film.
Well, I had to keep telling myself, because I kept saying in my head as I was reading, don't mess up, don't mess up. And there were a couple that, you know, they're like, okay, reread line 2, you know. But I mean, for the most part, I got it, you know.
Yeah.
But once I started really thinking about everybody staring at me and me reading it out loud, then I would fumble.
Yeah.
So I kept that in my head, like, just read.
But once you kind of knock out like the first one or two, then you kind of get comfortable. And, you know.
My knees, when I first walked in and I read that first scroll, you obviously couldn't see because my dress was flowy, but my knees were shaking because I was like a little bit nervous.
Wow.
Because I didn't know those people.
Yeah.
You know?
And you want to do good.
And you want to do good.
Yeah.
And you're the first elf to come in. So also too, when I was in there, I didn't know how to be either because one, you don't want to talk to somebody too much and, like I said, look like you're playing favorites.
Right.
I wanted to keep it neutral. I just want to go in there, do what I'm supposed to do, and get out. So I don't know what production thought. Maybe I did good. Maybe to them I didn't, because normally if you saw me on Big Brother, I'm very bubbly, super talkative, all that. I just did my lines, did what I need to do, and then stop and like let it be all about them because they're playing. It's not about me. It's about them.
Wow, look at you all grown up. That's the perfect answer. You're not they're the stars, right? They're the one.
Yeah.
So you're just there doing your job. And I thought you did a good job of just playing it straight. You don't have to be like Frankie. If you watch that show, he's over the top. That's his role. You know what I mean?
Great.
But you don't have to do that.
Yes.
Like I'm saying, to be a good host. You went in there, played it straight, did your job, and I thought you did a great job, is what I'm saying.
Thank you for the compliment. I don't think I'm going to be getting any hosting jobs anytime
You never know. You never know.
No,
you're always very natural on TV. Even when you come on Daily Blast Live or whatever it is, you're very natural.
You know why? I think I'm dead serious. Another shout out, Bonnie Clark, who found me for Big Brother. When she scouted me and wanted, and I was at the hotel and I was sitting in front of the camera, and I think it was pretty awkward and pretty like weird. She stopped what we were doing and she said, okay, pretend you are at the hair salon, because I was working at the hair salon then. And she goes, pretend you're at the hair salon talking to the girls or talking to someone. And I don't know why that helped. And I always use that. Pretend I'm at the salon and I'm talking to the girls.
Yeah.
And that calms me. If that, it might not work for everyone, but I always think of it that way. So when I walked in the house, I'm like, salon talking to girls. And that's how I think of it.
That's a good tip.
I do that.
That's a good tip.
Yeah. And it's always worked and it makes me feel more natural. But I think I'm just like a social person anyway. I'm an introvert, extrovert.
But I think like the number one fear in life is speaking in public. I think death is number 2.
Now giving an example, when we went to that charity event that Erica had.
Yeah.
And all the Daily Blast Live hosts got up in front of the crowd.
Yeah.
And Al, who is a host on Daily Blast Live, was not there. They were like, Jordan, you got to speak for Al. And it was to stand up in front of everyone, looking at all the people. That frightens me. But on TV, just like us, it's you and I talking. So it's more natural. I'm not watching thousands of people staring at us. So me seeing the people, it freaks me out. You, I feel like, get more pumped up with when you see the people.
Yeah, I like it.
And you like the interaction with the people.
Definitely.
And you're very good on the spot. You're quick with jokes. You're very witty. You're just fast. Me, I have to think about it. Or if people, like whenever I worked at the salon after Big Brother, people would sit in the chair and be like, oh my God, I love you on Big Brother. You're so funny. And in my head, I'm like, no, I'm not. That's just how they cut it. That's how they cut packages. And they use the good parts, but I'm really not funny. But then you almost feel like you have to be funny, if that makes sense.
You're funny.
No, I'm funny when I don't know I'm being funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my story.
It's a good one. Well, you did a good job. You did a good job.
Thank you. Yeah, and like I said, everybody's super cool. It was just like super chill. 10 days I was gone. It was too long. I was like ready. I told Jeff, I'm like, I'm ready to get back home. I'm over this. I did get to see a lot of our friends in LA. It's super hard. You don't want to like bother people because I know how it is here. If people are like, oh, we're in town, I want to hang out. And I'm like, I really don't want to meet up with you because like I said, I'm an introvert, extrovert. I'm social, but then I like being away from people. And I like
You can't be an introvert, extrovert.
Yes, you can.
What?
You can be both.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can. You can.
I don't know.
You can be
I don't know
both.
if that's real.
No, it's a real thing. And you guys like my sweatsuit? Jeff got me this for my birthday.
This is the thing we were talking about.
Yeah, everybody's making fun of me for my sweat. This is like a really nice sweatsuit. It looks like a quilt.
Yeah, you're
And
very...
it's freezing here today. I'm like so cold. And I put this mascara on and my eyes are burning. I probably look like I've been crying. I haven't been, but my eyes have been burning. And I got new hoops. Could you tell?
Yeah, they're huge.
I love them. They're like my J-Lo hoops.
Big hoops. I'm wearing a sweater. You know who gave me this sweater, Jam?
Who?
Tori from work. She was my Secret Santa last year.
It's a very Jeff sweater.
And I just pulled out my sweater jams because I was doing an audition before this. So I had a suit on and then I just went in there and grabbed the sweater and I was like, hey.
Yeah, I like it. Well, let's take a break.
Yeah, let's do that.
We'll come back. This podcast is sponsored by Every Plate.
Love, you know what I'm looking forward to this holiday season?
What?
Is budgeting our food expense. And you know who could help us out with that?
Who?
Every Plate, because you get more bang for your bite with America's Best Value Meal Kit. So their meals are 50% cheaper than your average fast casual meal. So ditch the takeout to save money while still enjoying fresh, satisfying meals. They're the easiest way to eat affordably. You put the money you save towards making holiday plans or maybe a new sweater for Big Jeff.
Every Plate provides plenty of delicious variety, so you'll never have to stress over what's for dinner. And I feel like I do all the time. With 26 tasty and affordable recipes that change every week.
So make the sensible choice this December with Every Plate because it offsets 100% of their delivery emissions and their meals have a 31% lower carbon footprint on the average supermarket meals of the same portion.
Get a meal for $1.49 plus $1 steaks for life by going to everyplate.com/podcast and entering code 49 Togetherness. Subscription must be active to qualify and redeem $1 steak. Get started with Every Plate for just $1.49 per meal plus $1 steaks for life by going to everyplate.com/podcast and entering code 49 Togetherness. Subscription must be active to qualify and redeem $1 steak.
Again, that's 49 Together Mess, MESS.
Welcome back. Jeff wants to share his story, what he did while I was gone.
Well, you don't have to, you could just naturally go into the story.
That wasn't natural.
Okay, do it again.
Welcome back, guys. Jeff's going to tell you what he did.
We'll just keep all of it. All right. So over the break, Jordan talked about, going to California and doing her thing, hosting. And when she was gone, I decided to take the kids back to Chicago to see my parents and my family. I like to get back there once a year if I can, especially around the holidays. So I save up my days at work and I usually go for like a week. So I thought it was good timing just because.
Perfect.
Yeah. Me and the kids alone here and me driving them to school every morning. Yeah, it's a little nutty. So I went to go get some help from my mom and dad, but had a good time. We went to it was so crazy because we went to this field museum in Chicago. I know every city has their own museums and stuff, but we used to take field trips there when I was like a little kid. So I knew it was just kind of surreal. My dad wasn't feeling great, so he stayed back and I brought my mom down there and the two boys. And it was just crazy. Like I love mummies and and I love dinosaurs too. But so they have like this famous dinosaur zoo there. So I brought the kids there. And then the mummy exhibit, I remember as a kid, there's this giant block like that they have on this sled with a rope on it. Cause they're like, see how the Egyptians made a pyramid. Do you think you could pull this? Like that's the sign, and I remember being there as a kid trying to pull that thing and it's still there. And then the kids were like pulling it. I was like, oh my God, it's so surreal. I was their age when I was here and now I'm back there as a dad. I don't know. It was just wild. So it was cool to go down there, see the city. I showed Lawson like where the Bears play and stuff, and my mom doesn't get down there too much anyway, but it was good to see, long story short, the kids made raviolis. I saw my nieces, my brother. I get together with my buddies, and we went to Nona Silvia's where we go every year. That's Tony and Steve's restaurant, and Johnny actually owns it. And then his the other restaurant that we went to go for drinks, and then we went to Pasta di Arte. That's the restaurant.
Those two restaurants are a must stop if you're in Chicago.
Definitely.
So good. So good.
Yeah. So got my Italian food, got my beef sandwich, saw my buddies, and it was good to just hang out with my buddies, and then my buddy Joe brought his son, who's a teenager now. So it's just, I don't know, time's flying.
And he was a baby when I met him.
Yeah, but it's good to it's something different about your real friends that you grew up with. Not saying we don't have real friends, but like the friends you grew up with, it's like you could do what they know everything about.
They've seen the worst of you.
Yeah, so you could do. It's just good to be, and not like we're getting wild. It's sad. We're so like docile now.
Well, I've heard some stories from younger you guys.
Oh,
and I've stuff where we can't even repeat. I've heard
it was crazy, but it was good to see those guys and good to be back with my family and stuff. So that's just my spiel about Chicago.
I felt that way in LA. Like I said, I didn't get to see everybody. There's no way you can. And people are working, you're coordinating around traffic times, things like that. But me and my friends that I met up with, we had those conversations. Like, it's just a thing where it's hard as an adult to find genuine friendship and to find that. And these people.
Like unconditional friendship.
Yeah. And we have that. I'm not saying here in Colorado we don't have that. We have that. But these people in California, I mean, I was like 25 when I met them. I'm 37 now, which is crazy, but it's...
So they're kind of like that.
Yeah, but they seen me be embarrassing, drunk, and act like an idiot. They've seen me fight with you at a bar and like leave. They've seen embarrassing moments, and they don't judge you. You can tell them things. It's a safe.
Yes.
It's a safe place.
You're not judged. That's exactly right.
You're not judged.
Exactly.
And it's not, you get up from the table and you're like, you feel like somebody's talking shit about you. They're just like, that's Jordan being drunk Jordan. You know, they just know you. And that's like the best feeling to have. And then I'm sure you all listening or watching can relate. When you move to different states like we have, it's hard to find like a solid group whenever you're in those places. But then you go back to places where you're from, like Chicago, and everybody knows your past, you know. But it's okay if it was like a bad past. It's like, and then
you do dumb things growing up, right?
Yeah.
You do dumb things. You regret things. Obviously, you wish you could take back things. But your true friends love you for all of it,
right?
You know.
And then my friend, one of my girlfriends, we were having drinks, and she's like, I just miss you. Because she got burned by some people without me saying names, but she got burned. And she was, she's just like, I miss just like a friend that I could just sit here and talk with. And I know that it's not going to be announced to everyone. And I was like, that's so true.
Yeah.
And I go, well, I call you too and tell you things, you know? Or if back then, if we had a fight and I was griping about you, how, you do, probably you gripe about me to Tony. And they just listen.
Tony gets a shout out every podcast.
I know.
And he loves it.
But they listen and they understand it. So I don't know. It's just great. But here in Colorado, it's our next door neighbors. Who would have thought your next door neighbors? If you would have told me when we bought our home that our next door neighbors would feel more like family than just a friendship.
That's super lucky.
I always say this too, and I'm a Christian. I believe in God, and I feel like things happen. And I always tell Jeff, I'm like, I swear our house was just meant for us. It was meant to be here. We were meant to have our neighbors. It was just, our kids all get along and play. Our neighbors' houses are just like how I grew up, which I always wanted. We just walk in each other's house. Like, what's up? What are you doing? You want to have a drink? My neighbor, Rich, we call him Richie Rich. He goes, man, this was so quiet without you around. And it just makes you feel good. And then I'm like, all right, Jeff's not home yet. I'm coming over. You want to have some cocktails? And he's like, oh, yeah. And he's like, you want some meat? Meat tacos. I'll make some tacos. And you know what I'm talking about because he's always cooking. I just love it, you know? You just go to each other's
great.
houses.
Yeah, it's great.
And I don't know.
I think it's more we got super lucky. No joke. And we have some other great friends here in Colorado. But I think it's also the times too. I always fall back in like society. It's like, I don't know, people are very gossipy nowadays and like people want to be better than you. So they talk shit and then it thinks like it elevates them in some sense. I don't know. Those aren't the kind of people I like to be friends with. You know what I mean? But it's just people are very gossipy these days. And that's
I'm gossipy, but I'm not malicious.
Yeah, I don't know. And I think politics plays a huge part now. Like, just like one view, you're so quickly labeled. Like, there's no talking. Like, hey, you're Democrat and Republican or whatever it is. Like, people are so quick to jump on each other and judge them. It's like, whoa, man, I'm going to stay out of that. So I just like to be on my back porch and mind my business.
Yeah, you're very antisocial with people.
It's not antisocial. I just don't want to get in those. I do it for a living, like those things, you know? And I don't want to have those discussions outside of work. And then people nowadays, that's all they want to talk about. And I'm like, man, I don't want to talk about that. You know what I mean?
Or if you hang out with somebody, you're like, oh, that was such a good night hanging out with them. And then you're like, wait, did they go back to somebody and be like, they're such an asshole. They're so fake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like say something about you. And it's almost, I was reading this thing on Instagram and it was saying it's better not to say too much about yourself, like about your life. Let people in. don't say too much information and let people know too much information about you, because later on they could use that against you, spin stories, gossip about you. I don't know. It was like this words of wisdom type thing. I love all that, like your mindset, all of that. And so I was reading all that and I was like, dang, I think I say too much about my life.
You really, when you meet someone, you just go for it. You say a lot.
I do. I should probably hold back a little bit.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, Jordan, what are you
I think I have. Like with this past year, I feel like I've taken a step back, right?
Yeah, but sometimes you just talk about buttholes and just crazy shit.
But that's just me. Oh, wait, I do want to say this. When I was out in LA, so our buddy Scotty, he's like our best friend. He's our, anyways, him and I went to Chateau Marmont, had drinks.
Ooh.
Should have left.
You know John Belushi died there?
Oh, yeah. Scotty told me the whole thing.
But it's like, if you don't know what it is, it's on the Sunset Strip. It's like a super famous hotel from a long time ago, and John Belushi died
It's
there.
super overpriced, but there's a server there that's been there 20 years, and the guys that are servers there are the nicest guys. They're in their 60s. They've been there forever. They're hardworking. Anyways, we leave there and we go to the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Yeah, you did it up fancy.
Well, just one night.
I know.
And so Scotty and I show up. I'm in a sweatshirt and sweatpants at the Beverly Hills Hotel. I'm drunk. I shouldn't be there. Scotty's in a flannel and
cool work trip.
Yeah, I know. Scotty's in a flannel and a baseball hat. He walks in and we sit down at the bar, have drinks. And the guy that was at the bar has been there 15 years. He waited on us when we went after we got married.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I was like, I know you. He's like, I've been here.
Oh, the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Beverly Hills Hotel.
Yeah.
So we're getting drinks. And by the way, I ordered French fries because I hadn't ate anything. And they were, what did Scotty say? $37 fries. And I was like, Scotty, I was drunk and they tasted amazing.
It's insane how much
it's crazy.
Prices are.
But if you're on vacation, it's something
even
just
on vacation
to splurge.
Yeah,
like
I know,
something fun to do. It's so beautiful. Everything was decorated all pretty. But anyways, my whole point of the story, I'm sitting at the bar and this couple from England sit down. The lady's beautiful. She's posh and wearing this silk dress and diamonds and fur, and they were the nicest people. And I looked like trash. You know, I'm in black sweatpants and a black sweatshirt. Scotty, they came up to him and were like, sir, you can't have hats on in here. Scotty takes his hat off. I'm talking this lady's ear off. I'm telling her about you. I'm showing her pictures of my kids. She's telling me about her kids. She was the nicest lady. And I think I sat there and I told her my whole life. I was showing her pictures of my mom and my dad. And
my God. That's what I'm talking about. You just met this lady. Sometimes you say too much.
But I loved her. And then she messaged me on Instagram and I got so excited because I told Scotty the next day I had a headache and I'm like, oh my God, we should have left. We shouldn't have been there. And I'm like, that lady probably thought I was so annoying. And she was the nicest lady.
Dang.
Yeah. Because like English people, I feel like if they said shit, like if I said that, I just sound like trash. But the way they say it's like shit. It just sounds so nice.
If you were lost and there's two different people giving you directions and one of them had a real thick Southern accent and the other one had like an English accent.
You probably listen to the English person. You'd probably be like,
even though they're not from this country, I'd be like, they know what they're talking about.
Exactly.
Is that weird?
I'm like, they're so much smarter. There's so much. And I was asking her those questions. I was like, do you think like we're trash? And then I started talking.
Everything sounds better coming out of their mouth. So they could talk shit like Stephanie on her show. And it sounds like they're almost giving them a compliment and she's ripping them apart.
Stephanie, who works on his show, if you don't know, she's English. Oh, I talked about Stephanie too. I pulled up Stephanie's Instagram. I was like, she works with my husband. She's from Wiltshire or whatever's in England. I don't know places.
Wiltshire?
Whatever it's called.
Because you were on Wilshire Boulevard? You just said
No,
Wiltshire?
I think it's Wiltshire.
I don't think there's a Wiltshire.
I don't know. I was like, this is where she's from. I was like, I don't know. And but yeah, I was having the best time. I was like living my best life because I didn't have my kids, so I didn't have to be responsible. You know?
I had them.
And then I went to, I don't know. I told Scotty, I was like, we're so embarrassing, but we had a good time. It was so much fun.
I miss it. All right, well, let's take a quick break. We'll come back and finish up.
All right, guys, welcome back.
So it's, you know, I always say like the date. So it's Thursday. So this is going to air in a week, 6 days. 6 days. So my point is we're getting pretty close to Christmas.
Yes. And I love it that the boys, they're getting older now. And
it's perfect.
So what we used to do when Lawson was little was go to Chicago on Christmas. We were there. And then as Lawson started getting older, I told Jeff, I was like, you know, I would like to start making our own traditions. Right. But then Jeff still wants to see his family. So that's why Jeff always goes like a week or two before. And I think you also like it because you hate the holiday traffic.
It's exactly right.
And you know what I told Jeff? I said, if you come back to Colorado with COVID, I'm going to be so mad because last year we went to Chicago and he came back and you and your brother and didn't.
Yeah, we all.
Your other cousin.
My brother got it. We all got it because we all got together.
Got COVID.
And in the day I got there, my dad was sick.
Did he have COVID?
No, he took like a bunch of tests because my mom's like, oh my God. My mom's like freaking out. And she's like, you better not give him COVID. She would have made him go in a hotel or something. But it turns out it was just like a cold. And he ended up being fine after a day or two. So those first couple of days, like I said, we did some stuff without him, but then he was fine. And, you know, the whole family got together and stuff. But so that was great. And the reason I love doing it early is specifically because of that.
For the travel.
Prices are cheaper, right, to fly out. And it's not crazy like the holidays. When you're coming back like the 26th or something, oh my God, it's not.
And then it's going back to our kids. It's the best because Leighton gets so excited. Last year, he was the first one up, and it's 5:30 in the morning. And he's like, get up, Santa came. And it's just the best feeling, like to have our house here. And it's like, I have all videos. I'm going to have videos of them from the time Leighton was 1, 2 when we moved in this neighborhood up until, you know, he's in high school.
Yeah. Well, he's so, I don't know. I think a lot of people do that elf on the shelf thing, but he's obsessed with the elf on the shelf. Oh. He's 5 years old. And every morning, like, so he's sleeping next to me when we were at my parents' house. And then sometimes he sleeps with me at here. And he just wakes up when it's still dark. And he's like, you want to go see the elf? I'm like, go back to bed, buddy. Because he's so excited when it moves.
He wakes up in the morning and Jeff's like trying to get ready for work. And he's like, Dad, the elf moved. Come downstairs and see it. You got to see it, Dad. And then I know you're trying to like get in the shower and get ready. And you're like, okay, buddy, I'll come down. You go down there and whoa, it moved. Some people get pretty creative.
There's some good stuff out there.
I don't think I've moved it one time. You have been doing great.
What am I supposed to say?
You have
no, because he loves it so much. He loves it so much, so I have to pay attention. And I forgot. Well, the elf forgot to move at my parents' house one day, and I was like,
"Oh, he let me know.
He must. What's wrong?" And Lawson was like, "Did somebody touch him and we don't know?" Oh. So all these like conspiracy theories from a 5 and 7 year old, and I was like, "I think he's just tired flying here from Denver, dude." I was tired.
You have a funny story. One of your buddies from Chicago, when his kids were little.
Mahoney, is that what you're talking about?
Yes, share it.
Yeah, so one of my buddies told me this one time. So his kids were younger, and the elf, I'm talking in like, okay, so whatever. But the elf was up on a light. So he put him like on the light over the kitchen table, and he put him directly on the light, and the elf started on fire and fell down, and the kids saw, and they were like traumatized, like, oh my God, the elf's on fire, and it traumatized them, and it was like Christmas Eve or something, and he had to go out and find another elf.
Oh my God.
Another elf had to come find him, whatever.
That is so funny.
Imagine if our elf started on fire. Lawson or Leighton would be scarred. They'd both be scarred. But Leighton would need a therapist.
The videos you see on Instagram of kids, have you seen the one? There's, I think it's like 3 or 4 kids. They're at their grandma and grandpa's house, and one of the little kids touched the elf, and they're he touched it's, and they're crying and screaming, and the grandma thought something like actually happened, and she was, what happened? And then it was all about the elf. It was so dramatic.
You know what? Now that you're saying that, I think my niece,
I just recently saw it.
Marley, if they're listening, I don't know. So something happened with their elf. I can't remember, but she got really worked up, like as a kid.
I want to say,
happened. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I might be wrong, but I want to say your mom said it was the dog jumped on something and it knocked the elf over.
Oh, was that something happened? I don't know. It was
something like that. And Marley, she's in college now, but she was young.
Yeah.
It fell, and they're like, "Don't touch it."
Yeah, something like that. Oh my god!
The way your mom tells this story.
That's right.
So
I forgot about that.
Because girls, I don't know. Well, your mom raised 3 boys, but then had the 2 granddaughters, and girls can be so dramatic compared to boys.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
They're different.
It's totally different. But yeah, no, we're ready for Christmas. I went on ahead and got all the kids' stuff. Nothing crazy. It makes me, it's such a good time of year, but then you also think, I've been thinking about what if you're a single mom or parents who are struggling this year, because I feel like a lot of people are struggling. People aren't getting bonuses that they normally usually get because the way our economy is right now. And it just makes me kind of sad,
Yeah. When I say Christmas bonus, what movie do you think of?
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Right when you said bonus, I thought of him playing with the pool.
I love when he's when they're walking and he's like, "Hi, stick it up your ass," and he's going down.
The best.
Yeah, that movie is awesome. But okay, on that note, we are gonna go. Again, everyone, thank you for liking, tagging, downloading, subscribing. Thank you for listening and watching. It's good to be back, and we will see you all next week. Hang on real quick, bud.
Here's our little elf right now.
Do you want to say hi?
He's got that look. He wants to show off.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. We'll see you guys next week. This was a short little episode, but it was good to catch up.
Yeah.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye. This podcast is sponsored by Together Mess.
No, every plate.
What did I say? What did I say? This podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
You look like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
I mean, it does. This is a little big, but like I said, it's cozy.